At the heart and soul of DairyQuest are scheduled events. Scheduled events are events that may or may not occur in the future. Let's take a look at some of the scheduled events that are currently scheduled for cows. We'll click on the head icon, cow head icon, and we're on cow number 1. To view the scheduled events for cow number 1, we click on Scheduled on the left side. Again, these are events that may or may not occur in the future. This cow is currently scheduled for a vet check to confirm that she's pregnant prior to dry off. Her estimated dry off date is June 29th of 2007, and her estimated freshening is 8/28 of 2007. All scheduled events are created for you by DairyQuest when you record a normal event. So, for example, on this cow, we'll click on Events. When her vet check result of pregnant was recorded, DairyQuest automatically created a scheduled vet check prior to dry off to confirm that she was pregnant. It also estimated when she should go dry, and again it also estimated when she should freshen. You have complete control over how and when scheduled events are created. Let's go take a look at how to schedule vet checks. Let's change some of our vet check preferences and see how this affects the scheduling on cow number 1. Currently, cow number 1 is scheduled for a vet check for confirming that she's pregnant prior to dry off. Let's go change that setting so you can see how vet checks can be changed to fit your needs. Let's click back on Events. We'll go to Preferences and Schedule Vet Checks. On this screen, there are a number of buttons that relate to each type of vet check that can be scheduled. The one that cow number 1 is being influenced by right now is pre-dry checks. So if we click on that button, right now you'll see that we are scheduling a confirmed pregnancy prior to dry off on our cows 75 days prior to being dry. Let's go ahead and just shut that off and click on Finished. When we click on Close, DairyQuest will say, option settings affecting scheduled events have changed. Do you want to update scheduled events on all animals? And we say, yes, go ahead and do that. When DairyQuest is finished updating all the animals, we'll click back on our cow head icon, go to cow number 1, click on her schedule, and notice that the vet check that she was scheduled for prior to dry off to confirm her pregnancy no longer shows up. All we see now are a scheduled dry off and a scheduled freshening. Both of those scheduled events were created, again, when we recorded a vet check with a result of pregnant. Let's go back and review some of the other preference settings for vet check scheduling. Go back to Preferences and Schedule Vet Checks. Of course, a very common one is pregnancy checks. If you click on pregnancy checks, you'll notice that in my system I'm recording a scheduled vet check to check for pregnancy 35 days after a breeding. So in my case, when I record an AI breeding event, it is creating a scheduled vet check 35 days from that vet check event. If at any time you don't understand any of this, simply click on the Help button, and the Help button will basically describe to you what each one of these fields means. We'll click on Finished, and One other one that some people get confused on is the vet check grace period. The vet check grace period is looked at when you run the vet check report. And the vet check report is what you will want to run to get a list of animals who should be vet checked the next time you have a vet coming on your operation. The grace period means this. Right now I have the number 3 in there, and I'll use that for an example. If the date of my vet check, the day I'm actually going to have the vet come on the farm and PG check animals, is today's date, and a cow is scheduled to have a vet check 2 days from today, she will show up on the vet check report. If the cow is scheduled for a vet check 4 days from today's date, she will not show up. That's what the grace period means. Another common one would be fresh checks. In my case, I am scheduling fresh checks on cows 14 days after a cow freshens. Let's click on the Finish button. All of the preference settings for scheduling vet checks are very simple to adjust. Simply click on the button that refers to the type of scheduling that you're concerned about and follow the instructions, and the windows will guide you right through on your selections. This concludes our scheduling vet checks tutorial.